So I actually ran this little video before, but it was hidden within one of the basic exercise principle videos that nobody watches. And I know that I get more engagement if I put it as a short video with an inflammatory title like I did on this one. It also has extreme relevance to a video I'm going to try to get done in the next couple of weeks that I will come back to at the end. I imagine most listeners are familiar with the ongoing volume wars about how many sets to do for maximal muscle growth and all this nonsense. Now, I want to just point out that I've been giving the same recommendations since roughly 2002. It's based on the Wernbaum meta-analysis that got shit on for a while, and we seem to keep coming back to, along with just practical issues. And I've been suggesting, if you look at my generic bulking routine, roughly 14 to 16 work sets per week per muscle group, split across 2 workouts. Now, there's more nuance to that. That would take a whole separate video or book or who knows. It's in my Facebook group. Obviously, weekly volume depends on proximity to 0 reps in reserve. Lower the closer you are. Maybe higher if you're doing piss about training like most people, but at 2 to 3 reps in reserve, 14 to 16 sets is about right. That's what most of the meta-analyses support. It's what the long-ass review of the papers I did back in the day basically all come out to, that 10 to 20 sets. And yet, in 2018, Brad Schoenfeld's volume paper, the one that will blow current volume recommendations out of the water, came out. And as most people are aware of, I shit on it. It was sloppy. The conclusions were bad. The statistics did not support the bullshit conclusions. But luckily, Brad has a coterie of suck-ups who will circle the wagons to support his crap. But only his. If his paper statistics had shown up in a paper they disliked, they would have excoriated it. They would have destroyed it. His excuses for not blinding were pathetic. And he and Eric Helms and James Krieger, after making excuses, blocked me and bitched out of my group because this industry is full of insecure pussies. Milo, you want to accuse me of causing drama? Scientists should be able to stand up to criticism, and the people that you're working with can't any more than you can. Anyhow, over the next 4 or 5 years, they slowly walked it back because none of them ever believed it. Not Eric, who wrote his little puff piece for Mass. Not even Brad, who in his Max Muscle 2.0 book said 10 to 20 sets per week. And despite citing his own volume paper, never mentioned 45 sets. They never believed it. None of them. They just had to support Brad because his ego is too big and his insecurity too much bigger to accept that his conclusion was bullshit. So he had to triple down. So over the next 5 years, they backed it all, walked it all back to what I'd been saying the whole time, with Mike Israetel famously doing a video. Are you doing too much volume? Yes, Mike, because you motherfuckers told them to. But that's the nature of content generation. These flip-flopping motherfuckers. Then, the next big volume paper came out, that 52-set paper, and everybody jumped on it again. There is no such thing as junk volume. Volume, volume, volume. With Brad saying, you could tell someone's biases by how they respond to that paper. Yeah, Brad, you can. I can tell what your biases are. People continue to be misled. And I kept saying the same thing. I did a long video looking at that paper, how it didn't say what people said it said. I pointed out the researchers had to do Instagram posts pointing out that the fitness industry morons were all misrepresenting it. I was right, Milo, so fuck you, little boy. And then 2 weeks ago, somebody made me aware of an interview Brad Schoenfeld did with the Stronger by Science groups, where he said, I have no commentary. I have no words. You cannot make this fucking bullshit up, guys. You can't. I mean, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? Brad has been the one pushing high volumes when it suits him, except when he doesn't really believe in it, and now he's saying you don't need much volume. Which brings me to the main reason I wanted to rerun this separately. Because just yesterday, by which I mean Saturday, October 5th, a new paper on volume and hypertrophy came out that supposedly shows that more volume equals more hypertrophy. That the entirety of the Instagram fitness crowd is already jumping on like a drowning man to a life preserver. and in response to which I can say with approximately 99.9% certainty, Brad is now changing his opinion to more volume equals more hypertrophy again, despite having said merely a few weeks ago that you don't need much volume. Now, I can't prove this because that little baby blocked me years ago for having the gall to criticize his work. And like the rest of them, he can't handle it because he can't rebut it because he knows I was right. Just like Mike knows I was right about bar speed. See last week's internet bullshit video. And yes, I will be doing a video looking at this paper, showing what it actually said and what it actually found. And mine will not be quite as awful as the 5.5-hour podcast that the researchers themselves did, although I will be incorporating snippets of that. See you next time.